My name is Natalie Augusto Filion, and I'm the city's Chief Sustainability Officer. Very excited to have you all with us today. Before we get started, I wanted to hand the mic over to a couple of our hosts, the folks who have so graciously allowed us to be with them here today. And so coming up is Mr. Kevin Porter, who is a director here at Rabbit Hole Farm, who'd like to say a few words.
Good morning, community leaders, people, and scholars from Avon B.R.I.C.K. I'd like to thank you for coming out today to this grand occasion. The mayor is on his way. He will be here. And again, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
And as Mr. Porter alluded, we do have, and I'm sure everyone can notice the energy here with us today. We've got 2 kindergarten classes from B.R.I.C.K Avon Academy just next door here. Give these kids a shout out, wonderful scholars. And we've got their principal, Miss Charity Haygood, who's come in also to share a few words.
Come on up, kids. Our babies. Oh, welcome, welcome. I met Kevin, I guess 7 years ago. We had a summer school program, and he came to teach my children how to inline skate. And it was the coolest thing, and my kids had never done it. And now I am so thrilled that Kevin is going to help teach my children all sorts of things about composting and things that they haven't had a lot of exposure to. We're also going to petition Newark Public Schools. We're a community school, and so it's so awesome, the whole idea that as a school, we actually get to come out into the community. That's the whole point. And our 3rd grade, we have the life cycle that we usually do in the fall, but we're going to petition Newark Public Schools to let us do it in the spring so that our children can actually see the growing happening out here in our neighborhood, and so all of our neighborhood can appreciate it also. So welcome, welcome. We are very excited. My scholars are very excited, and so we just thank you for being here. And our very own mayor, thank you for coming. We have seen our mayor several times, and so we just appreciate seeing you again. So scholars say, copacetic afternoon, Mayor Baraka. Copacetic afternoon, Mayor Baraka. We heard that good is a baby word, so we're trying to build our vocabulary, so copacetic is a better word. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you all. I'm going to kick us off with a few comments here and then hand over to one of our directors who's here and actually representing an interdepartmental effort between multiple directors. And then we'll have the councilman from the South Ward share a few notes, and then our own Honorable Mayor, Ras J. Baraka. So the first thing that I wanted to share is about the work that the City of Newark is doing to staff up as it relates to environmental health and community greening. As the city's Chief Sustainability Officer, Mayor Baraka, has asked me to work with representatives from various municipal departments and the Environmental Commission, who's also have a number of members here today, members of the Newark community, and all our efforts are to basically advance a multi-pronged agenda for making Newark a healthier, greener community. In fact, on June 24th, we're having a Quality of Life Summit that we're planning in partnership with a coalition of environmental leaders, many of whom are here today. If anyone in the room is a member of the Newark DIG Doing Infrastructure Green Coalition, can you give me a raise of hands, a hurrah? It's a great group of folks, and as well the Environmental Commission, like I mentioned before. And we also have individuals here from the Newark Youth Ambassadors who are also part of this coalition, basically making us a greener, cleaner, healthier community, a more vibrant community. My office is tasked with strengthening partnerships with state, federal, and local agencies, as well as the community stakeholders to advance the goals that were laid out in our 2013 Sustainability Action Plan. And as you guys can tell, we're coming up on a 5-year refresh of that, so we're looking forward to continuing to build on the momentum that we've started for a number of years now. In 2017, the mayor asked me to prioritize a focus on quality of life, on enforcement, on youth leadership, and on transparency around the work that we're doing. With respect to the issues around quality of life, I really think that community greening tends to be this sort of category that captures a lot of that work. It helps us address multiple benefits at the same time. We're dealing with our stormwater management, we're dealing with community beautification, revitalization efforts, the work that we're sort of building and leading from the city side and in public right-of-ways, etc., is work that can create sort of an opportunity for green jobs in the future. And so it's really an integrated process. Related specifically to stormwater management, anyone who lives in Newark knows that when the streets flood, when it rains, it floods, and it's a huge challenge that we need to continue to tackle. We're working on increasing the capacity of our system to deal with that, but also creating more green spaces like this here today to capture that stormwater so that it's not flooding through our streets or even going into our basements. With respect to environmental code enforcement, we know that Newark is nobody's dumping ground, despite a reputation that unfortunately we are still working to shake off. We have rules on the books, and we're working to protect ourselves from dumping, from pollution, from toxins, from dust, from noise, from odors, from so many of the rules that are going unenforced, unfortunately. And we're staffing up to do that work as well. As far as empowering youth to be sustainability leaders, it does warm my heart to have my baby here with me today. I asked my mother, and my mother-in-law is here as well, to sort of bring this, to bring her here, because to me it matters so much that our future generations are seeing this work and seeing how we are doing. We're rolling up our sleeves. Oh, got a little choked up. Okay. Rolling up our sleeves to do this work for now and into the future. And absolutely, these scholars are the young minds that are going to create the solutions for the future. We can't anticipate the lives that they're going to lead and the situation that they're going to be in 20, 30 years from now. Around tracking and improving sustainability performance, the goal here is to understand where we're at, where we're going, and to really keep ourselves accountable as we move forward. In celebration of 2017 Earth Day, we'd like to draw special attention to a set of strategies that provide environmental, economic, and social benefits. These are include but are not limited to tree planting and work and maintenance, and later today we'll have an opportunity to watch some of the young leaders and also the leader of our community do some tree planting. Also, green infrastructure projects, so work that is basically about building natural, nature-based systems. And an example is actually right here in front of us. If you see just behind here, there's a rainwater cistern that's connected by this black pipe to the roof. So this rainwater that falls on this roof is being captured and used to irrigate the fruit, the flowers, the herbs, everything that's growing here. And that's water that's not ending up in what is fairly antiquated technology at this point, the sewer system that was built way before any of us in the room, in this great space, can even remember. I'm proud to announce today that this work, the community greening work, is also something that's in service to us being more prepared together, to building a more resilient community. And Newark has been designated a city of service under the Cities of Service Prepared Together Impact Volunteering Grant Initiative. And so it's the first of what I hope is many fundraising opportunities that I do in partnership with many of the city departments and many of the environmental stakeholders. And so with generous support provided by the Walmart Foundation, the city won a $25,000 grant that's partnered with High Touch Consulting Services, programmatic support, and 2 AmeriCorps Vista members that'll work with the city, that'll serve to give a year of service to helping green our community. Newark has experienced natural disasters firsthand. Sandy's probably the most well-known, most highly publicized, recent, and most severe example. But with the residents' public health and safety in mind, it's a prime time for us to accelerate those efforts. And these kinds of things that maybe feel pretty disconnected, the tree plantings, the stormwater management, etc., are really in service to that. I want to take a moment to just thank the partners that are here in the room that are part of the Resiliency Action Plan that was developed with the support of the Ras J Foundation by community leaders at Clean Water Action. Show of hands for Clean Water Action folks in the room. Ironbound Community Corporation, and also the New Jersey Environmental Justice Alliance. They're all represented here today. The project, Newark Strong, Citizen Action for Community Resiliency, is focused on flooding, extreme heat, and we're going to be planting trees, installing rain barrels, and installing cool roofs on some of the homes of our senior residents. If anyone is interested or knows someone who might be interested in applying for that opportunity, you can see me after. The next person I want to invite up is Director Phil Scott, the Director of the Department of Engineering, who's going to share a few words about efforts that he and other departments are leading together.
Good morning, and thank you everyone for coming out. It's great to be here for this Earth Day celebration. One of the things that I'm here to speak about is the green infrastructure initiative that we're trying to move forward with. This is a interdepartmental initiative between the Department of Engineering, Water and Sewer, as well as the Department of Public Works. What we're trying to do with green infrastructure is, as Natalie mentioned, is we're trying to reduce the amount of rain runoff that runs into our city system. As we know, we just celebrated the 350-year anniversary of the city of Newark, so that means our city is old and our infrastructure is old. So we have to upgrade our infrastructure, so we want to do it in a way that is more green. We want to make sure that we are doing what we can to lessen the burden on our existing system and try to infiltrate the groundwater as best we can. As one thing that was mentioned with the cistern that we have here is that we're collecting the rainwater from the surrounding building to grow these crops, and we want to take that approach throughout the rest of the city. We want to do that in a way that we can reduce how much impact that we have on our existing system, as well as to reduce the amount of erosion, but also to try to reuse that water. Water is one of a great resource, and we want to do what we can to maintain it and to keep from having to be reactive in a situation where we can be proactive in this particular instance. What we're currently doing right now is we have a pilot project, the Clinton Badger Triangle. We're working with the Department of Environmental Protection as well as Rutgers University. And what we're doing is basically trying to take an area that is basically high runoff with impervious coverage and trying to create a small little traffic triangle park to mitigate that water and and keep it from getting into our system. And we're just using this as a pilot so that we can try to take this throughout the city. What we want to do is we want to try to see how this works. We want to break ground this summer, and hopefully we can take this show on the road and use it throughout the rest of the city. So basically, we're just looking to do green infrastructure pretty much anywhere we can. For anyone who wants more information on green infrastructure, you can contact the Office of Sustainability with Natalie. But also to the left, there's some presentation boards that does give you a really good synopsis of what green infrastructure is and what we're looking to do in our city. So again, thank you for coming out for this great day.
And now I'd like to invite our South Ward Council member to share a few words as well.
Good morning. It's great to be here celebrating another Earth Day. Kevin, this is a phenomenal complex. Children, you should be so happy that people are concerned about your future and they want the environment to grow so that you can learn. And as stated before, we have an old infrastructure. So anything we can do to promote green activity, we should do. Charity has been a community activist since she took over as principal at B.R.I.C. Avon Academy, and I've had a pleasure working with her, not just in this project, but other projects. So I want to thank her for staying involved, all of the partners. And as we move forward, we're going to do smarter, more greener solutions to some of our issues and problems in the city of Newark. And ultimately, all of this will improve the quality of life. And we thank all of you for being here and joining in that effort. Thank you.
Now I'll hand over the microphone to a man who needs no introduction, who really is leading the charge here and helping us see this future, Newark 3.0, our path forward. And just invite you that immediately following, we're going to be doing some tree planting and also signing. And so just in terms of the logistics of that, I'll turn over to some of my better informed colleagues about how to do that. But with no further ado, Mayor Ras J. Baraka.
Thank you. I just want to give Natalie a round of applause, please. I mean, I know how it feels to take on a lot. Got a lot to take on. And she's been doing it very gracefully and efficiently. So we appreciate her and appreciate all of the organizations that have been partnering with her around Newark Dig and everyone else about trying to make our city more sustainable. So happy Earth Day to everybody. Happy Earth Day, young people. Happy Earth Day. We celebrating the Earth birthday today. But the reason is because, we can't use all of the Earth's resources. We think that they're infinite, that they're never going to go away, that they're always going to be here, that we can use them and waste them. And then we turn around and find out we don't have enough water, we don't have enough food, the system is messed up, so we have to figure out how to sustain it, right? How to use the water in a way that it continues and helps us live and grow, how to use the ground so the air is clean and clear, so we can have fresh air to breathe, we have good food in our communities. All of these things are important. Sometimes we take it for granted because we could go to ShopRite and get a bag of frozen goods and we eat it. But all of this is important that we're doing this today. And of course, I want to thank the principal of this incredible school charity. I'm sitting here celebrating Earth Day with you guys, and I love it. And the folks that put together this incredible farms of peach trees. I get a chance to see a peach tree in the hood. Makes me feel, that's one of the reasons I had to come, really just a secret. As they told me there's going to be a peach tree on Rose Terrace. I just, let me see if that's real. Thought somebody was joking. But it's a peach tree in the hood, and I'm going to take a picture of it, and I'm going to come back, and hopefully I can get a peach off of it one day. But, I appreciate it, definitely. But, Earth Day, we have a whole list of events that we need everybody to participate in. We need you to be a part of our community cleanups that we're going to be doing. All of the events that we have, not just because it's Earth Day, but because we need to do these things year round to make sure that our city is sustainable, that it's safe, not publicly safe, physically safe, but also the air has to be clean, the ground has to be clean, the water has to be clean, needs to be lead free, the system has to run properly. We can't put garbage in our system that runs into the water that then messes up everything else. We have to make sure all of those things are in order. That's a lot of work, especially with a 350-year-old water system that we have, old buildings, old infrastructure, which means it's going to take us collectively to fix this problem. And sometimes we have a model where we say we put somebody in charge and then we go and watch TV. But we have to get rid of that model. That's not a model that's sustainable. That's not a sustainable model. We have to put people in charge, and then we have to hold them accountable. But we also have to show up, right? We have to show up and identify things that need to be fixed, be critical friends, critical partners, and figure out how to make our neighborhoods better. But we also need to show up and volunteer and participate to make these communities more incredible. So not only is it sustainable, it's beautiful, right? It beautifies the lots. It makes use of areas that were vacant for a while. And so we get to look at the community in our own image. That means we get to create something and be self-determining and say, this is what we want it to be. We get to actually make it into that. Then we can make it useful so it benefits us in the long term. So this is an incredible day for all of us, for our children, because obviously, young people, you're going to have to take this on because the adults have completely screwed it up. And we got adults, they don't even believe in global warming. They don't believe in climate change. They don't believe in nothing. Just a little crazy. So we need you guys and ladies to get all of this information, to suck it up and take control of what's going on and keep the planet healthy for you and for your great-grandchildren after you, right? Have an incredible day, y'all. God bless you. They learn that in kindergarten. It's only when it's in the third grade. Cameras.
Great job, Carrie.
Oh, read it. Okay. It says, whereas it is widely recognized that a healthy shade tree population has dramatic physical, social, and economic benefits, and Newark appreciates the value and benefits trees offer in improving the quality of life of our residents. And whereas, as Mayor of Newark, I recognize Earth Day as an occasion to announce our city's environmental protection, sustainability, and resiliency efforts, and urge all of our residents to support and enact these efforts to enhance and protect our city and its natural resources. Now, therefore, I, Ras J. Baraka, Mayor of the City of Newark, New Jersey, do hereby proclaim the week of April 17, 2017 as Green Your Community Week. Man, I should have known you was involved in this one. That's right. That's right. I'll grab it.
Okay, we'll both grab it and we'll set it here.
Okay.
In the hole.
Let's do it. Here we go.
And then you can take the first scoop and put it in.
How come John ain't got to do none of this? John.
Thank you. And then we get the scholars. You scholars here, come up and take both hands. Take both hands.
That way you get to dig in the dirt today and not get in trouble.
Yeah, you got to take both hands and put it in. Here we go.
Now you got a little shovel.
Now you got a shovel. Okay,
Wait, you got a shovel now. You got a little shovel.
let's get the shovel.
Take one.
Thank you. So take this in there. And put it in the hole.
Yes, wonderful.
So let's get back. Hold the shovel down. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough.
Y'all let some balance.
Yeah.
All right, come on, great job.
Let's get good.